A very good evening to you and welcome to JoyNews Prime. This broadcast is live from our studios at Akufo-Addo in Accra. We're live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV 125 and around the world on myjoyonline.com. I am Emmanuel Samani.
And I'm Noella, Yalley. Tonight, minority demand immediate suspension of all prosecutions under sections 207 and 208 after TikToker was jailed for publication of false news.
Also tonight's President John Dramani Mahama. Welcome to the program. Tonight's President John Dramani Mahama has dismissed claims that his administration is pursuing politically motivated prosecutions, insisting I beg your pardon.
Prosecutions are guided solely by evidence and due process. Now, speaking during his Reset in Ghana tour of the Volta region, the president said his government harbors no malice towards anyone and has no interest in prosecuting people who have committed no wrongdoing. Now, he stressed that Ghana's investigative, prosecutorial and judicial systems provide adequate safeguards to ensure justice, arguing that anyone who is wrongfully prosecuted has the opportunity to be vindicated by the courts.
I also just want to touch on accountability and to say that we do not harbor any malice against any person. And indeed, I do not take any enjoyment or pride in prosecuting people if they have done no wrong. And I believe that our prosecutorial system, investigative system, and judicial system grants enough leverage for people to have justice. And so nobody would, out of political vendetta or malice, prosecute anybody if you've done no wrong. And if you've done no wrong and you are being prosecuted maliciously, the courts will be able to uphold your rights and set you free. And so it shouldn't be like we're trying to hound our political opponents or something. We proceed on the basis of evidence we have received. And then the evidence is weighed. And if it is sufficient, there are many times we have reports and all that. Sometimes the evidence comes and it's not substantive. And so you say, if it's on the weight of this evidence, you cannot proceed to court. So discard it. Or investigate further and see if there's something else that you have not found. But otherwise, if a case proceeds, and that is why the whole system of accountability is taking time, because you need to be thorough. By the time IOCO or OSP or somebody comes and arrests a person, it means that months of work have taken place reviewing the evidence. And so I just want to assure that accountability is still our #1 priority. But like I keep saying, the sword does not cut only one way. If we find evidence that any of our current appointees or persons working in government under our tenure also has abused the public trust, the way the sword is cutting that way, it will cut this way too. And so I always caution my appointees to be very careful. Be sure you follow the procedure, don't cut corners. And the point is, if you have any doubts, I tell the ministers every day, if you have any doubt, bring it to cabinet.
Well, speaking on the ongoing legal action seeking the Supreme Court's interpretation of the constitutional provision on presidential tenure, President Mahama said he believes the relevant constitutional provision is clear. He said Ghanaians have given him one term in office and that remains his commitment to justifying that confidence reposed in him.
The people of Ghana gave me a mandate for one term. And I am working hard to meet the promises I made them. And so I always tell my ministers, I say, let's number our days so that we can work harder to meet the promises we made the Ghanaian people. I know that people have gone to the Supreme Court seeking interpretation of the clause that governs the tenure of the president. If you ask my personal opinion, I thought that it was clear enough. I've read it over several times. It's exactly what it says, but if they want to ask the Supreme Court, that is their business. But I know that the people of Ghana gave me one additional term, and I'm going to work to meet the trust that they put in me.
Now let's head to Parliament, because the minority in Parliament is demanding an immediate suspension of all ongoing prosecutions under Sections 207 and 208 of the Criminal Offences Act, Act 29. Now the provisions criminalize the publication of false news and acts considered likely to breach the public peace, and the renewed calls follow the conviction and imprisonment of TikToker Camilla Al-Hassan for making false allegations against President John Mahama. Now, addressing the media in Parliament, Minority Leader Alexander Afenyomarkin condemned the jailing of Camilla Al-Hassan and other prosecuted under the provisions, arguing that the law has increasingly become a tool for suppressing expression rather than protecting public order. My colleague James Afeji reports from Parliament.
The minority have waded into the prosecution and jailing of TikToker Camilla Al-Hassan and a number of persons who are currently being prosecuted with Section 207 and 208 of the Criminal Offences Act 29. The minority leader Alexander Afenyomarkin, addressing journalists in Parliament on the subject, insists that the continuous use of the two sections 207 and 8 to prosecute people for false publication, which constitutes misdemeanor, is a return of the criminal libel law in disguise.
Section 207 and 208 are being used not to keep the peace, but to keep score. This too is not new. In 1998, journalists Kweku Bakun, as he then was, and Harun Atta were convicted and imprisoned under the very criminal libel law this country later repealed for a story about the then First Lady. Different decade, different party in power, same instinct. When criticism becomes inconvenient, reach for the criminal law with a 1-year custodial sentence with hard labor for a social media post is not proportionate. It is not justice. It is a warning shot fired at every Ghanaian who owns a smartphone.
His side is calling on President John Mahama to protect free speech and also call to repeal the sections 207 and 8 of the Act 29.
His Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, began his own working life as a trainee journalist at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation before moving into public communications and public relations roles, including at a foreign embassy in Accra and at an international development organization. He has, on record, described himself as a card-bearing member of the Ghana Journalists Association, and as recently as last year, told the nation in his own words that he will not preside over a government that abuses or intimidates journalists. We take the president at his word on that commitment. We do not say the president personally ordered these prosecutions. We do not say government led by a former journalist who tells the country he still carries a GJA card bears a special responsibility to know exactly what these charges do to a person and a special duty to stop them. It is precisely because we expect better of this president, given what he has been, that we find this moment so troubling. And precisely for that reason, we call on him directly to instruct the Attorney General to end what we are seeing and experiencing. We ask the NDC majority to join us, the mighty minority, not as opponents being asked to concede a point, but as fellow custodians of a republic that will outlast every one of us in this room. support the repeal of sections 207 and 208.
The minority is escalating their cause further to demand an immediate freeze on the second trial of Kamila Al-Hassan and all other persons who are standing trials under the provision of that Act 29.
We demand, first, the immediate withdrawal of all pending prosecutions under sections 207 and 208 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act, including the second prosecution threatened against Kamila Al-Hassan. Second, the discharge of any person currently serving a sentence, including Kwame Nkrumah II. There's a gentleman, Kwame Nkrumah II, who was jailed 6 months or so ago over a TikTok video. Third, the passage without delay of legislation repealing both sections, the legislation the mighty minority is proposing, along the lines of the bill already before the House.
Well, for more on this, let's speak to private legal practitioner Martin Pebu and get his thoughts on some legal education. Counsel, good evening. Many thanks for your time. Now, the minority is calling for all ongoing prosecutions under sections 207 and 208 to be frozen. Now, from a legal standpoint, is that really a reasonable and practical demand?
Oh, yeah. It can be done because we are unique people, right? And if you look at our current these things that are set to offense, some are culturally ingrained in our society. So I don't want to make some different specific sites so that to understand should be adapted. It's a secret part of our society. So part of it, I don't think we copied it from somebody. Okay? So this particular area needs to be looked at well. Look, and the best thing is for us to stop the prosecutions and then let's have a national debate. Something has to be done. Look, to be clear, I don't support insulting the president. I don't. But long ago, there was a crime called insulting the president and we removed it. Okay, so they'll tell you that there's no crime like that, right? But it's not the same as saying encouraging people to know. But there's the other side where I for podcasters, we like to make fun of our president, okay, and sometimes it appears caustic, but it's been endured over the years. So look, me talking to you, Akufo-Addo, you hear me out there and say, he was Mampam, Mampam, monitor leader. We say it is tone deaf. He's tone deaf. Then, if somebody didn't compose a song, I said it a number of times, nobody arrested me. But we all knew that I was sending a message that he's tone deaf, right? Then I know that also in Akufo-Addo's regime, other people said something and they were arrested. The Buama, the Power XYZ presenter, he was arrested. And then another person, I think he spoke again. He spoke about, is it the EC or ID? Some NDC food soldier, right? But in terms of those of us middle-class professionals, when we do it, we are largely left because I think it appears authorities that know it's somewhere around political factor, etc., discontent. So I get the feeling, as I said, let's be very clear. Nobody, I am not encouraging insulting the president, but there is a certain part that we've come to accept. Even Kwame Nkrumah's time, if you read the book, he would tell you that Ghanaians say X, Y, Z about him.
Right. So Counsel, so if that's the case, I mean, we know that these provisions were originally intended to preserve public order. But in today's digital age where we have TikTok, social media, and the like, do they still serve, that legitimate purpose, or have they become vulnerable to abuse?
Yeah, that's why I said that they would serve the purpose to a certain extent. But maybe you should be asking that, is it well served? Because maybe that's why I say, is it serving as well? No. That was serving to the extent that Kamila Al-Hassan is in custody. Some people say, yes, it's serving. But not in this fashion. We don't support it in this fashion. It's disproportionate that for those statements, she's in custody. That's too much. I just wish that I think we can do something, especially her case, that maybe the president grants a pardon, and then for the subsequent one, we should declare that there should be no custodial sentence, maybe a fine, and then the community service bill, especially. Right. Yeah, so let the person do community service. But as for custodial, no. Right. Some people who have said a lot more. And the ministers of state today, people who said one were opposing Akufo-Addo, people said a lot. Akufo-Addo didn't arrest them. And yet we accuse Akufo-Addo of culture of silence. Right?
Right.
No, I think there's a mismatch here.
All right. Lawyer Martin Pebu, thank you. Thank you so much for that education.
The Economy and Development Committee of Parliament has warned ministries, departments and agencies against declining invitations to account for the use of public funds. The caution came during the launch of the committee's maiden public hearing on the National Development Planning Commission's annual progress report. And James Aveji report from Parliament.
As part of Parliament's move to expand its oversight responsibility, the House has tasked one of its newest committees, the Economy and Development Committee, under the new standing orders to probe the findings of the annual progress report by the National Development Planning Commission. This means the committee will henceforth begin public hearing on the reports, beginning with the 2025 edition launched on Thursday. Addressing journalists in Parliament, Chairman of the committee, Eric Afo, cautioned all ministries, departments and agencies and MMDAs who decide not to honor an invitation from the committee.
The committee, therefore, expects every ministry, department, agencies, and the MMDAs to cooperate fully with this process. Failure without a cause to honor the committee's invitation or to provide required information will be viewed as seriously by the committee as inconsistent with the standards of accountability, transparency, and a responsible governance that underpin the government resetting agenda. You see, every committee of Parliament is more or less a high court. So if you are invited to appear before a committee and you refuse, I want to use the word refuse, then you know what will happen to the ministry.
Emphasizing the importance of these proceedings, Ranking Member on the committee, Kojopo Nkrumah, reveals some critical issues that emerge from similar hearing, which are essential for national policy reforms.
The last health hearing that we had, neonatal mortality is getting worse in Ghana. It's in the report. This is the committee where they have to come and answer questions for when you took the money to go and reduce neonatal mortality, have you succeeded or you have failed? Because if after taking the money for neonatal mortality, it has gotten worse, then we don't care about how many, is it chips, compounds or whatever you built, but the outcome is getting worse. This is a committee where it happens. Ambulance response times is getting worse. So what is the reason? And then we are finding out that there's no dedicated budget for the running of the ambulance service. So this is where now you can make those interventions for development. We also just found out that in Ghana, we don't have a benchmark for what you call OPD response times. You hear people complaining that I go to the hospital, I sit there 1 hour, nobody has attended to me. This is the committee where we work with NDPC and the ministries to set a target for OPD response time. For example, in the area of health, so that now we can measure them year on year, whether it's getting better or it's getting worse. So the people of Ghana are looking for development. This is the committee where now the report on development across the various sectors is being brought for 2025. And we're going to invite the ministers here with all their chief executives. And these are public meetings where you get to follow. And we will now ask them how they have performed on these targets. So before we start, that's why we want to set the rules of the game quite clearly so that there's no confusion anywhere.
The sitting will witness the appearance of public officials to answer to the findings of the NDPC's yearly annual progress report, a step to advance the work of the Development Planning Commission and expand the legislature's oversight responsibility. Now, the House has adjourned to Tuesday, July 21, as we expect the Finance Minister to come to Parliament on Thursday to present the mid-year budget review for 2026. My name is James Saveji for Joy News.
Well, still in Parliament, Majority Leader Mahama Yariga has announced that members of Parliament will sit on Saturday to debate the 2026 mid-year budget review. Presenting the business statement for the House, he said Parliament will dedicate additional sitting days to complete debate on the mid-year budget after its presentation next Thursday.
Minister for Finance has given indications that the mid-year review of the budget statement and economic policy of the government of Ghana for the 2026 fiscal year is expected to be presented by him on Thursday, 23rd July 2026. Comments on the statement will commence on Friday, 24th July 2026. We expect leadership to conclude the commentary on Monday, 27th July 2026. Mr. Speaker, due to the pending business before the House and time constraints, the committee proposes that the House sits on Saturday, 25th July 2026 to dispense with some outstanding business and continue with the commentary on the mid-year review of the budget statement and economic policy of the government of Ghana for the 2026 financial year. In this regard, the Business Committee entreats honourable members to avail themselves to the scheduled business of the House on Saturday.
To more news, aggrieved customers of Men's Gold have renewed their appeal to President John Dramani Mahama to intervene and help them recover their locked-up investment. Now, they say many victims continue to suffer severe financial hardship and warn that further delays could have devastating consequences. And legal affairs correspondent Fatal Bayaga was in court today and filed this report.
The embattled Chief Executive Officer of Defunct Gold Dealership Company, Nana Mensa, began his cross-examination after completing his evidence in chief before the Financial Division of the Accra High Court. Speaking to the media after the proceedings, convener of the aggrieved customers, Frederick Forson, disclosed that a group has given the government a 21-day ultimatum to account for what they claim is a 5.4 million cedis left behind by the previous administration.
I feel highly embarrassed that the government of the day hasn't made any concrete step so far in retrieving this money. We always appreciate the fact that on the 29th of July last year, the president himself chaired a meeting in respect of this money. But after that meeting, those people who are supposed to take action haven't had anything. We have done several follow-ups. That is why last week we gave a 21-day ultimatum that we want to hear something from the government. We want to know the whereabouts of the 5.4 million Ghana cedis that was left by the previous government. And we have also requested that at least they should put some 200 million Ghana cedis into the budget to assist.
The court adjourned the case to July 28 and 29 for cross-examination to continue, with hopes of concluding the process in October when the court resumes after the legal vacation. Frederick Forson said the aggrieved customers will welcome a final determination of the case before the end of the year.
We had wished that the cross-examination would have ended before the legal vacation, but it is said that man proposes, but God disposes. So we couldn't have that. But at the end of the day, if the case is concluded by October, it will be a good news for us. We don't want to cross 2026 without seeing the finality of this case.
Other members of the group also expressed concern over what they describe as the government's apparent lack of support, insisting they have been left to suffer for too long.
Since 8 years now, we are starving in our children. We need our money. We have a lot to do. We have to eat. We have to pay our children's school fees.
Nobody is coming to our aid. No government official is coming to our aid. So we see it as a scam.
The case is expected to resume later this month as the court continues hearing evidence in a matter that has remained one of Ghana's most closely watched financial fraud trials. For Joy News, Fatal Bayaga, Accra High Court.
Well, you're still watching JoyNews Prime with me, Noella, Kharyne, Yalley, and
Emmanuel. Samani, we'll take a quick breather. We're back with more stories. Don't go away.
When malaria shows up, it doesn't knock. It just takes over.
Oh, no. This fever is too much.
When malaria comes, respond with Mala-2. Fight malaria with Mala-2 tablets or syrup from Ernest Chemists. Test for malaria first before taking Mala-2. If symptoms persist for more than 48 hours, see a doctor. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, what's up?
Life. It's moving so fast. Yesterday I was in class 4. Today I'm almost in JHS. My shoes don't fit me anymore. My voice is deeper. I was watching cartoons, but now they say I'm too old for that.
The more things change, the more they'll stay the same. I still love you the same.
Come and sit, Dad.
In a world that keeps changing, Calipo still keeps making sweet memories.
I still love it.
Dad, I told you to have a sip, not to finish it.
Calipo food juice drink, making sweet memories. This advert is FDA approved.
Yo, Ray, you no go job. You look unhappy and seem to be in pain.
I have this long-standing well at my anus and it keeps coming and going. I feel sick and so uncomfortable, bro.
Have you taken into consideration going to the hospital?
I've been to several hospitals and they keep telling me the same thing. They said it's anal fistula. I have to undergo a surgery. I'm scared I might not be able to hold my stool if I do this surgery.
Wait, have you considered seeing a proctologist?
Which one is that? But do we have proctologists in Ghana here?
Bro, we have a lot of them. They are being trained every time.
Where can I...
An anal fistula is an abnormal tract which connects the inner parts of the anus to the skin around the anus. As long as this tract persists, there will be a recurring boil around the anus. A proctologist is the one credited with excellent outcomes of surgery of anal fistula. Laser and ligature anal fistula surgeries are the modern methods with very low recurrence rates.
Visit Mwintiba Hospital and Fuller Proctology Center today or call us.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number 1, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes.
If you want quality, this be where you belong.
Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it dey carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it dey make water dey flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
So this strategy will lead. Oh no, not again.
Say, relax. The generator will come on now.
The generator is not working. Why stress yourself when the experts are just one tap away? Introducing Left Power, the smart emergency support app from Left Signature Limited. With Left Power, certified engineers respond fast, anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stories.
Hello, sir. This is Left Signature Limited. The request has been received and our engineers are already on their way. Please relax. We've got you covered. This is professional.
Every Left expert is certified, verified, and can be tracked in real time. Oh, you'll know they're coming before they even arrive. From electrical engineering and solar power systems to data center management, cloud services, smart automation, and software development, Left Signature delivers excellence, fast, reliable, and professional. Left Power. Your solution is just one tap away.
Available on Play Store and App Store.
Passes, bad referee decisions. Don't let your child's grade suffer a bad match. Ensure a straight win this academic season with curriculum-aligned textbooks and interactive tools from Pegasus Publishing. From preschool to senior high school, we have the exact game plan your kids need to ace their classes. And because it's World Cup season, you get a massive 20% off every single book. Don't drop points. Call 059-5010-175 or dash to Pegasus Publishing in Accra Newtown, right opposite the Total Energy Station. Free delivery within Accra when you call. Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures.
You're welcome back. This is JoyNews Prime.
Now, residents of Kumasi and parts of the Ashanti region have been advised to prepare for intermittent power shortages over the next 3 months. Energy and Green Transition Minister John Abdullahi Janapo says interruptions are necessary to allow Gridco to undertake a major rehabilitation of aging transmission infrastructure serving the Ashanti region. According to the minister, transmission lines and towers that have been in service for more than 3 decades are being replaced to increase transmission capacity from 364 megawatts to about 1,000 megawatts, significantly improving long-term electricity reliability. There's more in this full report.
Residents and businesses in Kumasi are being urged to prepare for intermittent power outages over the next 3 months as Gridco embarks on a major upgrade of the city's electricity transmission infrastructure. The Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Abdullahi Janapo, says the project involves replacing over 30-year-old transmission lines and towers that no longer efficiently transmit the growing electricity demand in Kumasi and the Ashanti region. Speaking after inspecting ongoing works at the Anwomaso bulk supply point, the minister explained that the rehabilitation will increase the transmission capacity from 364 megawatts to about 1,000 megawatts, ensuring a more stable and reliable electricity supply after completion.
And like you said, it means that we have to take down this old line and put the new line exactly on that path. Other than that, we may have to break houses, we may have to demolish houses in order to put a new line, and the inconvenience and the cost will be unbearable. And so given the opportunity cost and given the situation that we find ourselves, we've come to a conclusion that we need to bring down this old line and erect the new line. We cannot postpone that forever. And so bear with us. We're going to have a systematic planned work. If it involves that we have to take some place off temporarily, they will do that, but we would inform you ahead of time.
Mr. Jinapo appealed to residents and businesses to remain patient, describing the rehabilitation as a long overdue investment that is critical to securing Kumasi's electricity supply for the future. He cautioned that delaying the replacement of the aging transmission infrastructure could expose the city to more frequent power supply challenges.
ECG did some major works recently. And so the people of Kumasi, you would see that your electricity situation has improved significantly. If we don't do these improvements, it means that if we don't do it, we could risk collapsing the entire grid. And so please bear with us as we go through this very necessary phase for the next 3 months so that we can have sustainable supply of power. To upgrade from 300 to about 1,000 means that you are doing about 3 times that capacity. And that means that this line can take us for a very long period of time. And so I want to assure the people of Kumasi that we are paying a lot of attention to the electricity situation here. Most of this work should have been done years ago, but we can't keep postponing it.
Chief Executive Officer of Gridco, Engineer Frank Ochre, says the existing transmission towers have reached the end of their operational lifespan after serving for more than 30 years. According to him, replacing the infrastructure is essential to improving the efficiency and reliability of electricity transmission across Kumasi and its surrounding communities.
The project to upgrade the Angomaso-Kumasi transmission line. Now, you increase power no from 364 aqua 1,000.
The company has assured consumers that the temporary inconvenience will lead to a more resilient electricity network capable of meeting Kumasi's growing energy demand. Joseph Obin's report for Joy News.
Well, still in Kumasi, hundreds of makeshift structures at the Akufo-Addo slum have been reduced to rubble as the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly intensifies its crackdown on unauthorized development. Now, about 500 illegal structures were demolished during the latest exercise, and the Assembly says the operation forms part of efforts to reclaim public lands, enforce planning, regulations, and also restore order, adding that similar exercises will soon be extended to other illegally occupied areas around the metropolis. And Akufo-Addo reports.
The Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly has confirmed that over 500 structures here at Akufo-Addo have been demolished in the exercise being carried out early Friday morning. Residents who used to occupy this place have been displaced by the KMA in all efforts to ease out the pressure on this place. The Kumasi Mayor, Kinzuba, confirms to Joy News that a series of engagements will be held by the KMA, the Ghana Railway Authority, and the Ministry of Lands to ensure that the inhabitants do not return.
We have arranged a meeting with the top management level of the Ghana Railway Authority in Accra next week. We'll meet them, we'll let them see the requirement of the law, the regulations with which we erect structures within Kumasi. And I am sure by the time we are done with the meeting, we would find a lasting solution to these things. We do not want them to reoccur. We want to leave it and develop it for either the purposes of transportation, railway, whatever transport that can access this particular place. So we'll engage them, and the outcomes of the engagement will make it available to the Minister of Local Government, to the Minister of Transport, who has oversight over the railway authority, and then we will also give him to the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, because we have seen leases, and I'm wondering if it falls within the mandate of the railway authority to be giving out leases for development. So we'll engage the appropriate ministries for things to be streamlined, but we will ensure that we will be on the neck of the railway authority not to allow for this thing to re-emerge.
Which Joy News engaged some of the residents who've been displaced, and they are making an appeal to government to help them find a place to sleep.
Sabi, me papa payimu na oma me brebe 2 or 3 days. Na me yare, na me hwa baby, ensisa me no mango. Siba se da. Ano otumi asese me ka asese mu yo. the age of 80 years. Ziba, ne papa ni miya, kobaya sa. Ne papa ni miya, kobaya sa.
Me kurusu so ni afira ena ya ba hanma o ma gidi ne me na gu yenye ba bi kura nko yete wo yete dua na so yete me nyina na gu yenye ka kura mfa nko fie enti ya ba wa mbu ya kakra bi kurusu ni afira mi fi sile me nyi ka ti ka kura nko mi fi sile boko da mi free mi ba ha ke ye betra se de yete asa yenye ba bi ko me yare.
The Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly confirms to us that this is part of a series of demolition exercise that will be held in the coming days, coming weeks and months. They warn others occupying places that are known to be drug hubs to move, else the KMA will come in swiftly. For Joy News, my name is Akufo-Addo, Kumasi.
Well, from the Ashanti region, let's cross over now to the Upper West as the Food and Drugs Authority in the region has destroyed a large quantity of expired, unregistered and banned consumer products seized during market surveillance operations across the region. The exercise follows inspections conducted in all 11 municipalities and districts between January 2025 and March 2026. Among the items destroyed were 89 cartons of banned mixed alcoholic beverages together with significant quantities of unregistered cosmetics containing hydroquinone, an ingredient prohibited in cosmetic products since 2015. The Upper West Regional Head of the FDA, Kelvin Dafari, says the exercise was necessary to protect consumers from unsafe products. Our JoyNews Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
This is what danger looks like when you take it off the shelf. 89 cartons of banned alcoholic drinks, packs of Kharyne and Carol White laced with hydroquinone, all seized across Upper West, all going up in flames today. The Food and Drugs Authority says the haul came from 15 months of market surveillance across all municipalities and districts. Expired products, unregistered cosmetics, alcoholic drinks mixed with stimulants like caffeine, banned since last year. Kelvin Dafari Sompal is the Upper West Regional Director of the Food and Drugs Authority.
As you can see, this is expired products, unregistered products, and banned mixed alcoholic drinks that were seized across the 11 districts and municipalities in the region. So we did this work during our market surveillance activities from last year, January, to this year, 2025 to 2026. So we are here today to safely dispose of these products.
The banned items include 85 packs of Kharyne and 23 packs of Carol White cosmetics containing hydroquinone, an ingredient prohibited in skin products since 2015. For users, it means risking damaged skin and long-term health problems.
So these are drinks that FDA banned since last year. We gave them the manufacturers up to March of this year to make sure that they recall their products out of the market. However, during our market surveillance after March, we came across several quantities of them. This is about 89 cartons of the mixed drink that we have disposed of.
The Food and Drugs Authority says we are past the days of warning. 2 days caught with these drinks and creams are now paying heavy fines.
Some of them, especially the expired products, when we take them, we just sensitize them, we educate them on the need not to resell or to sell things that are expired. For the alcoholic drinks, they were fined administratively, they pay money to the authority. Then the cosmetic drinks, we also find them, those who were found to be selling them, because we have gone beyond the sensitization level. Because we've sensitized them to stop selling, but we still see some of them selling. So they've paid administrative fines to the authority.
But the bigger message is for you at home. Check what you buy, because as the FDA director puts it, don't use your hard-earned money to buy sickness.
It takes the consumer to be careful on what you are eating. If you want to go and buy something, you first of all check and see whether what you are buying is unwholesome. If it's a mixed drink, we have told people that we don't allow mixed drinks. And when we say mixed drink, these are drinks that contain alcohol and stimulants. For instance, alcohol and caffeine. So we have not, if you want to produce, you only do alcohol, or you do only what? The caffeinated or stimulant drink. So we should all be each other's keeper. Let's look for wholesome products to buy. We should not use our hard-earned money to go and buy sickness for ourselves.
From Wa, FDA Abawa says the surveillance continues, but today what could have ended in hospital wards ends here in ashes.
Beyond every bent mixed drink or expired products, it's a child who won't get sick, a mother who won't lose sleep, a family spared a funeral. That is the case the Apawas FDA will want the public to see. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Now, Aquafresh Limited, producers of Calipo, together with textile manufacturer Printex Limited, have donated relief items to victims of the June 29 floods in Adabraka and Odona, two of the communities hardest hit by the disaster. Now, the companies presented cartons of Calipo nourishing drinks and wax prints to affected families to support residents who lost property and livelihoods during the floods.
The donation forms part of the company's corporate social responsibility efforts aimed at providing immediate relief to vulnerable households as they recover from the aftermath of the disaster. Officials from Aquafresh and Printex Limited, who visited the flood victims in their homes to present the items, said the companies were moved by the plight of the victims and believed it was important to support communities during difficult times. Santosh Kesari, head of sales and marketing, and Clement Adama, sales executive, spoke to the news team.
In all the locations that I've seen, the people are suffering, the property are destroying, even the cars are submerging into the waters and all. So we thought, why not we come forward as a company, as a corporate social responsibility, and we can help whatever we can do. So that is the reason only. It's the last week we have gone to the Alajo, and this is just a continuation of the support, and that's why we come to this area also to let a little support to the people.
Considering the extent of damage caused by the floods, it was heartbreaking seeing the number of people who lost their properties. We felt it was necessary to step in and offer support. We were at Alajo last week, and today we are here to make another donation.
Some beneficiaries, overwhelmed by the gesture, expressed gratitude to the two companies for the timely support. They said the donation will help meet some of their immediate needs as they work to rebuild their lives after the floods.
We are grateful for these items. We lost so much in the floods. I alone lost 50 bags of beans worth about 50,000 cedis. We are also appealing for more support.
May God bless you all for these donations. Life has not been easy since the floods, but we are grateful to be alive.
We are very grateful. Not everyone will take the time to support us. Life has been very difficult. On the day the floods happened, I didn't eat the whole day.
Well, I need it from morning to evening. Monday, 5 o'clock.
Officials reiterated the company's commitment to giving back to society, noting that supporting flood victims aligns with its mission of standing with communities during times of need.
So on News Tonight, the Accra Technical University has launched its new business school with a focus on strengthening industry collaboration, innovation, and practical training to prepare graduates for the changing demands of the workplace. Business leaders and academics at the launch called for stronger partnerships between academia and industry to ensure graduates leave school equipped with practical skills employers require. My colleague Namoko reports.
The launch comes amid concerns over the gap between classroom training and practical skills required by industry. The dean of the ATU Business School, Professor Elikem Oklu, says the school will deepen industry partnerships and provide students with practical exposure.
Already we have this collaboration with industry, and the intent of this new direction is to strengthen that partnership. So what we intend doing this time is that if you look at our curriculum, the the final year, the last semester is devoted for 12 weeks industrial attachment. So what we are doing now, we are trying to strengthen the collaboration with industry. We are trying to also find out how we can explore other opportunities for industry. So the attachment, our students do it. Just that we are looking at getting more on board so that at least they can get that hands-on experience and do better in the world of work.
Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Magdan Group, Dr. Daniel Macaulay, emphasized that universities must focus on producing graduates who can solve real-world business challenges.
Every year, our tertiary institution turn out thousands of business graduates. They hold beautiful certificate. They can define marketing mix. They can draw a demand and supply curves. They can recite theories from textbooks written in Europe and America 40 years ago. But the moment they walk into the office of the Magdan Group or any major industrial firm in Tema, Takrady, anywhere, they collapse under the weight of reality.
However, Professor Robert Ibo Hinson also believes business schools must embrace innovation, technology, and industry-driven programs to remain relevant.
The very definition of a business school is that it must give business value. Otherwise, what are you doing? So the theory is fine, but I want to see a shift towards more industry-led and practical ways of delivering the business school mandate. It is what it is.
The university says the new business school is part of efforts to prepare graduates with the skills needed for Ghana's evolving business environment. Now, more course report, read to you.
Now, October 7, 2023 remains one of the darkest days in Israel's recent history. According to Israeli authorities, hundreds of Hamas fighters crossed into Israel, launching coordinated attacks, firing thousands of rockets and taking hostages, including women, children, and the elderly into Gaza. As part of a media tour organized by Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, JoyNews' Derek Ekosam brings us the story of Tamir Leshetz, one of the survivors of the October 7 attacks.
It's Saturday, October 7, 2023. Israel is slowly waking up from sleep. Some Israelis are returning home after a rendezvous in town the night before, winding down after a busy week. What primarily should be a restful day turned bizarre. Missiles were seen flying around. Gunshots were heard from the horizon. Revelers fled for safety. Homes were attacked. Israeli officials say hundreds were killed, maimed, kidnapped by Hamas terrorists. But some survived the melee, and Tamir Leshetz is one of them. Here's the story.
One car who had stopped on the road, and we approached it and slowed down, and it signaled me to slow down. And when we pulled up next to him, he rolled down his window and he said, "There are terrorists." Like he was frightened. He said, "There are terrorists. You need to go, run away now." And as he said it, like we saw from the horizon, we saw vans coming up, motorcycles. I remember the color black. It was it's really engraved in my memory, like the color black, almost like a signal of death, like to run away. And that was the turning point for us, where I as an individual, we realized like death is here. It's coming at you.
When he was asked how he's getting his life together after the attack, he praised his friend, a fellow survivor, for making the recovery process easier.
It was weird because I'm not gonna. Am I supposed to go back to work now? And Ron also, he worked with me. We knew each other to work. But my luck was having Yuval, because we experienced such a similar. It was super similar experience for me and Yuval, and super different because he also has a story like our roads, like were apart, and then we came back, and coming back to reality together. Not a lot of survivors have that privilege, I think, because everything we would encounter the following days, weeks, months, I could share with him, and he would be like, I completely understand, and he would do the same. Something which is, it's different from sharing strangers or even close friends, but you weren't there.
Tamiro says gunshots and anything black still scare him, but he hopes his recovery will be fast as Israel picks up its pieces. Derek Ekosam, Tel Aviv, Israel.
Oh, time now to bring you the latest in showbiz. Oh, well, in showbiz tonight, recent times have seen many children communicate fluent English while struggling to speak their own mother tongue. Ghanaian actress and principal of Yvonne Nelson International School, Yvonne Nelson, says that trend must change. She's calling on parents and schools to make a conscious effort to teach children Ghanaian languages, saying it is essential to preserving the country's cultural identity. She made the call during the graduation ceremony of the school's class of 2026.
So we're Ghanaians, right? And I believe that although we want our kids to be eloquent in English and want them to speak good English, we should also not forget that, they also have to speak their native language. So Chiga, Ewe, Auza, we have to, I don't know, in school, at home, let's not forget about, the Ghanaian languages as well. We should be intentional as parents at home. Let's teach them, be it Ga, Chi, Auza, like I said, let's teach them, because you could tell some of the when we were speaking, the accent was a little, medase, and not saying tongue tying, so let's be intentional at home. Let's teach them. It's very important, because English, hey, they are watching all these videos, YouTube, all of that. Now our kids have like American accents, British accents and all that, but native language, Ghanaian language is also very important. We need it.
Noella, do you speak your language?
Yeah, I speak Chi. I try to speak good Fanti. I speak, but not too, but I try. And then I think I understand a little bit of Nzima.
Oh, I see.
I can't exactly speak it, but I can read it.
I think I hear you speak it with Papani sometimes.
No, when he speaks it, I can put 1 + 1. And then, yeah. How about you? You want to wrap up in Dagati?
In Dagati?
Yeah.
Yeah, you already know.
Anywho, that's it for JoyNews Prime. You should log on to myjoyonline.com. Definitely, you won't be subscribing. You'll be subscribing.
A thriving cocoa sector begins with fair income, more job opportunities for young people, and a protected environment. By processing cocoa locally, strengthening our partnership, and using modern farming practices, together we are securing the future of cocoa in Ghana and building prosperous communities.
Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver unmatched performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP print center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies. Performance that delivers every time.
Malaria's remedy is Lonat. Therefore, we're gonna use Lonat to recover. You have malaria? Yes, are you shivering? Yes, yes. You got chills? Yes, take Lonat. Lonat. First day, Lonat. Take Lonat. Second day, Lonat. Take Lonat. Lonat. Third day, Lonat. Take Lonat. That's all. Lonat scatter malaria. Lonat scatter malaria.
This advert is FDA approved.
Day by Day existing lotion, cream, soap, and more. Day by Day has 4 fragrance range.
Hey Abna, you are going to leave again? Yep, very much needed one so I could get to relax. Wow, every time you go on leave, you go on vacation. Yeah. Last 2 years it was Dubai. Even last month you went to Mexico. This time, where are you going to? Tell me. This time I'm going to Guangzhou, China. I see. How do you do it, Abuna? Because every time I try, I get scammed. I use Waka now. They can get you the cheapest flight deals. They assist you with your visas, your hotels. They have well-created packages for everyone, and then you can pay small. You can call them on 024-243-5515, or you can visit their website at wakanow.com.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Prime Business with me, Pius Kujubaka. Agribusiness, finance, market systems, and poultry sector expert Raymond Dente has urged stakeholders to create a compelling business case for importers to source locally produced chicken, arguing that vilifying importers would not grow Ghana's poultry industry. He spoke during the Joy Business Roundtable discussion focused on the poultry sector.
I think there's been this tendency of vilifying the importers. They are business people, and they have a critical role to play. They have the cold chain infrastructure that you mentioned, and they understand the market. So we should give them a business case to buy the locally nationally produced chicken. That's one thing. The second thing I want to say is that, with this current backlash, government shouldn't take it personal. It should be an opportunity to relook at the document, as I said earlier. They have a policy. I think there are clearly gaps in the policy. We're also trying, with the help of MasterCard and AgriImpact, trying to put together a master plan. So we should see the master plan as an implementation strategy, and then we should just dovetail the two documents, fill in the gaps in the policy, the current policy, and then see how the two documents will work. And then, as it's been clearly stated, that can transcend one government, so that within the next period, we have good policy that the stakeholders are interested in. We have an implementation strategy, and then we can turn things around. I think it can be done, and it's very doable.
And we know panelists of the Joy Business Roundtable discussion on the poultry industry called for a 10 to 20-year roadmap to ensure the successful implementation of government's Feed Ghana program. Here's a wrap of the Joy Business Roundtable discussion held earlier today. Speaking on the Joy Business Special discussion, Can Ghana Feed Itself? The Future of Poultry Beyond Nkukon Kitinkiti, Chief Executive Officer of the Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, Ali Mohammed, raised concerns over what he describes as a disconnect between policy formulation at the national level and the realities faced by poultry farmers across the country. Ali Mohammed said policymakers must engage more directly with the stakeholders in the poultry value chain if the sector is to realize its full potential.
But looking at the first phase, if it's anything to go by, actually, the policymakers need to calm down. They need to calm down. Because look, there's a disjoint from the local to the national level. There's no coordination in policy implementation, how to roll out. Look, my brother, we are more interested in the value chain beyond only raising the best. How do you increase your maize production? How do you increase your soya meal production? These are the major components in poultry production.
Agribusiness finance, market system and poultry sector expert Raymond Dante mentioned that government poultry policy is fraught with some challenges which ought to be looked at.
All I want to say is that government should let us really look at the policy they are looking at it. There's serious gaps. Again, consistently, the policy has been around distributing, not only in the poultry sector, agri sector in general. If it's oil palm, distributing seedlings. If it's poultry, giving feed, it's not helping. And we cannot address the challenges you're talking about if government takes the lead. We need the private sector to take the lead.
Feed Ghana coordinator Bright Demoji says government is demonstrating a renewed commitment to strengthening local participation in Ghana's poultry industry through targeted interventions aimed at addressing long-standing challenges facing producers.
The first one, our major reason or objective of bringing this program is to ensure that we bring the people of Ghana back into backyard poultry farming, so that we can be able to increase poultry production as a major component of our food security program. Secondly, in doing so, we believe strongly we will reduce importation. So it's a form of import substitution program that we are implementing. And finally, it's also to ensure that we are completely food secure as far as meat production is concerned.
CEO of Rockland Farms, Edith Akosa Whitland, says Ghana needs 10 to 20-year roadmap for the successful implementation of the Feed Ghana program.
I know we are talking about initiative programs that we've done. Yes, the programs that we've done, each of them comes with policies, but it's not legislatively backed, so it keeps changing. And what we are talking about today is not 3 years thing that we can do. We need at least 10 to 20 years roadmap backed by legally document that when there is a change of government, it cannot be changed. The poultry has to follow that roadmap that has been laid there. That is how we will be able to change it.
Chief Executive Officer of Agri Impact, Dr. Dan Akwe, believes opportunities in the poultry industry far outweigh the challenges.
There are so many investment opportunities within the Ghana poultry industry space, from production of maize and soya through feed production. As we speak today, how many breeder stock farms do we have in the country? Almost zero. And we also import maybe 90% of the eggs. All right. These are all investment opportunities.
Agri-sector lead at EcoBank Ghana PLC, Timothy Alabi, explained why poultry financing has become difficult and what EcoBank Ghana PLC is doing to support poultry financing.
For EcoBank, we have measures to deal with things like that. We're also looking at price volatility. So if there is no stability in pricing, then it becomes difficult to do that. A lack of collateral and the rest. Also fragmentation. So most of the smallholder farmers don't even have the records to be able to conduct credit assessment on their request. To help do this, to help banks to do this and do it better, we must look at some investment reforms. Market protection. We should have predictable trade policies, because if I would finance poultry, for instance, broiler, and at the end of the day, we are not able to push it out, I would have financed the input supplier, the hatchery, the production, the processor, and everybody. And at the end of the day, the goods are on the market, is not going out. What it means is that money is not coming back, and so we need that.
Representative of the Veterinary Association, Dr. Kwao Peku, called for the speedy passage of the Animal Health Bill to enable health workers carry out their mandate effectively.
I think the veterinary services and other stakeholders, with the help of the ministry, have come out with the Animal Health Bill, waiting for it to be passed. And if you look at all these problems that are emanating, I think that with the passage of this law, it will really empower the animal health sector to be able to, specifically veterinary services, to be able to carry out most of these things in order to ensure that most of these things become successful.
And you can get more of that discussion when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Now, the Chief Executive of the Volta River Authority, Engineer Edward Eko Obeng-Kenzo, has blamed the high cost of power on the cost of petroleum products used as raw material for powering various plants to generate power. He was speaking at the second Professor Douglas Boatin lecture organized by the Ghana Institution of Engineering. Details in this report.
For investors who've been complaining about the minimum capital requirement, that has been eliminated.
This year's Professor Douglas Boatin lecture is themed Power Never Sleeps, VRA, the 24-hour economy and the industrial future of Ghana. According to the Chief Executive of VRA, Engineer Obeng-Kenzo, power can be made affordable to Ghanaians if the cost of fuel is reduced for power companies in order to produce at a reduced cost.
But the main thing is, if you have the thermal power plant, the heat rates are what are critical. If you have a very efficient gas turbine, the only variables that change the whole thing has to do the fuel source. What is the cost of the gas to that power plant? Because it's a constant heat rate. That is the efficiency of that machine. That variable is the fuel cost. When you put it in, it determines the cost of that energy that you are going to sell. So if the cost of fuel can be reduced, then the thermal cost will also come down, be affordable for Ghanaians. So it's something that sometimes we have to really face the realities. And today, out of discussions and meetings, sometimes our indigenous gas are even expensive than the one we bring from Nigeria.
President-elect of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Sophia Abena Tijani, underscores the need for reliable power supply and the importance of engineering the 24-hour economy policy.
If we are going to do that 24-hour economy thing, which is, like I said, an economic transformation agenda, we cannot do that without unreliable supply of electricity. And we believe that VRA is well pleased to help us. We'll connect, we'll support. It's well pleased to do that. With the support of the institution, there's a lot more that we can do to ensure that we are improving the supply of electricity. Again, our power can never sleep. So whether it's Doomso or Doomsisi or Doom or whatever it is, we want to see reliable supply of electricity so that we can push the transformation agenda.
Co-convener of the lecture series, Professor Douglas Boatin, has also been speaking about the lecture.
It's thought leadership in terms of what is happening within the engineering fraternity and what we are doing to obviously help to develop our beloved Ghana. For me, it's about the industrialization, and we as engineers have a role to play rather, in this whole initiative of trying to use industrialization to obviously power our economy and also create jobs for the kids.
The lecture is a flagship engineering thought leadership event, bringing together industry leaders, policymakers, and engineering professionals to examine critical issues shaping Ghana's industrial and energy future.
Meanwhile, Mr. Obeng-Kenzo also charged the Institution of Engineering to form a policy think tank to support the infrastructure development of the country.
GHIE already contributes to policy dialogue, standard committees, and national initiative. This lecture is evidence of the strides made in this regard. However, the time has come to position GHIE as a national engineering think tank for energy policy. Because with all the issues that goes back and forth, I don't see GHIE on any of the, should I say, news file and giving solutions that these are the issues, this is what we should do. It's only the think tanks that we know. Imani and the others, they go for it to talk about engineering solutions in this country. But I think the first point of call should be GHIE. That we go to you to give us a solution that is needed. So please, let's take that charge.
The Securities and Exchange Commission has announced plans to make environmental, social and governance reporting mandatory for companies in Ghana from 2027 as part of efforts to align the country's capital market with global sustainability standards. The Director General of SCC, Dr. James Kluche-Aveji, made this remark at a sustainability reporting workshop held in Accra.
As global financial market place increasing emphasis on sustainability and responsible investment, Ghanaian institutions are being encouraged to strengthen their environmental, social and governance reporting practices to meet emerging global standards. Speaking at a sustainability workshop in Accra, the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Dr. James Kluche-Aveji, announced that ESG reporting will become mandatory for companies in Ghana from 2027.
The ICA Ghana adopted this standard set up by the board, and then which is the International Financial Reporting Standard 1 and Standard 2. Now, after they have adopted it, they gave us a roadmap. The roadmap on which companies should report and by what date. And so 2027, 1st January, has been set up as a mandatory. From 2024, it was voluntary, that public interest entities, those are prepared or ready to report on the sustainability issues, can do so. But from January 2027, it becomes mandatory.
The Assistant Director and Head of Climate and Sustainability at the Bank of Ghana, Oswald Abankwa, urged institutions to strengthen their ESG reporting frameworks to attract funding for green and climate-focused projects.
As we are all aware, sustainability and climate are no longer buzzwords, but real global issues with implications for financial stability and economic development. It is therefore important for real sector players like yourselves, who are public interest institutions, to embrace the agenda of becoming sustainable. The disclosures you make under the IFRS reporting standards will open you up to a world of opportunities to access green capital and investments in green projects.
The IFRS S1 and S2 sustainability disclosure frameworks are becoming critical tools for improving transparency, consistency, and comparability in corporate reporting, enabling investors to make better informed decisions.
TDC Ghana Limited is strengthening collaboration with traditional authorities as it steps up efforts to improve the land administration and protect state lands within the Tema acquisition area. The state-owned company says stakeholder engagement is key to tackling encroachment, multiple land sales, and the growing threat to protected wetlands. Kwame Yanka has more.
State-owned company TDC Ghana Limited donated a bus, fuel support, cash and other items for this year's Homowo Festival to the Nungwa Traditional Council as part of its corporate social responsibility and long-standing partnership with the traditional area. Managing Director Kharyne Peku, however, pointed out that the company continues to grapple with encroachment on state lands, where developments beyond areas ceded to traditional authorities have resulted in double land sale and disputes. Kharyne Peku says TDC will intensify dialogue with traditional leaders while proceeding with a reclamation exercise to remove unauthorized development on Ramsar wetlands, insisting that protected areas are critical to flood management and orderly urban development.
So apart from the one we mentioned earlier on,
where we have ceded portions of the land to them with the intention that they can release it and use that money and put in a fund. But over the years, that money has not gone into the fund. So, and the land is almost finished. And what they are doing now is encroaching into the TDC properly allocated land. So that's the challenges we are having. We've mentioned it to them. We've been dialoguing with them that they should stick to where we ceded to them and not encroach into TDC land. Before 1952, there have been, traditional people have been around and they have been operating all this while before we even came in. So the relationship is important, very, very important. If they say they will give you a problem, yes, the law is there. We can use the law enforcement to enforce the law. But human security is important. Dialogue is important. Negotiation is important. So we believe that some of these things are creating the bridges and also leveraging the system for us to be able to judge all.
Meanwhile, the Nungwa Traditional Council has expressed gratitude to TDC Ghana Limited for what it describes as a timely donation, as the gesture will enhance its mobility and support the council's activities. Here is Oblanta Manche and Chidomhine of Nungwa Traditional Area, Ni Bote Uplen Jalisani II.
It is only the committee 16 and 17 that we have authority over, because that area has been given to the Nungwa Traditional Council, and for that matter, the Nungwa Su. The other areas, we are not aware. So if you see any document purported to have been signed by any of the chiefs, be it the Nungwa Manche or the Babulomo, I think all those documents are fictitious. So we've asked that anytime TDC wants to collaborate with us, we are ever ready. Yes, we are aware of the purpose for which the Ramsar was created, and we are ready as a Traditional Council to support the state agencies to sort of protect the Ramsar site.
Tema and Pun Traditional Councils also received their buses and other supports from TDC Ghana Limited, with the company reaffirming its commitment to sustaining ongoing development projects in the traditional areas as part of its corporate social responsibility.
The Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly has opened applications for the second round of the Bloomberg Philanthropies Youth Climate Action Fund, inviting young people to submit innovative projects aimed at tackling climate change in the metropolis. Kumasi Metro Chief Executive Richard Ofori-Agyeman said this marks the third time Kumasi is participating in the global program. Mr. Ofori-Agyeman explained that the initiative targets young people aged 15 to 24 who are expected to form groups and submit proposals for practicals, climate-related solutions that can create a positive impact in their communities.
The Youth Climate Action Fund equips mayors with the resources to foster youth-led initiatives that contribute to the achievement of the city's foremost climate goals. Under this Youth Climate Action Fund brand, and with the support of Bloomberg Philanthropies, mayors will establish a micro-grant program in our respective cities and invite young people whose age ranges from 15 to 24. Together with our supporting organizations, we will develop and submit project proposals. These proposals should align with Kumasi's established climate goals and reflect innovative plans for our youth to engage in climate-related programs.
Now, women in cocoa farmers in parts of Ghana's eastern region are turning climate action into a personal mission by giving trees names and caring for them as if they were family members. The initiative, known as Tree Personal Emotional Trust, or Tree Pet, is being implemented by Asnapa Cooperative Cocoa Farming and Marketing Union Limited in the Sahum and Ayensuano districts.
Under the program, vulnerable women plant shade and timber trees on their cocoa farms and assign them names inspired by loved ones, life experiences, and future aspirations. According to them, the approach is helping improve tree survival rate while strengthening climate resilience in cocoa growing communities.
We at Asnapa seek to achieve a climate smart environment, and also 100% EUDR compliant, because we are keen on protecting our environment, because we are fair trade certified.
The initiative, according to the women, is also designed to help women build savings and establish alternative sources of income beyond cocoa farming.
Okay, my advice to the youth is, I want all the youth to learn how to make a cocoa farm, how to plant trees. This tree can help us in future when we are building our rooms, furniture, many things. This tree can help, and it can help the cocoa farm to grow well. So the advice I'll give it to them is they should try their best. It's not all possible in trade. They can make a big farms also.
Artisanal cooperatives say it is exploring opportunities to expand the initiative into carbon credit and payment for ecosystem services schemes, allowing women to earn additional income from the trees they nurture.
Commercial Pragia riders in the Volta region are expected to benefit from safer, faster and more convenient fare payments following the introduction of MTN Momo's Ride with Momo initiative in Ho. The digital payment platform is designed to reduce dependence on cash, improve financial record keeping, and promote financial inclusion among transport operators. Ivy Setoji reports.
The initiative was officially launched with a colorful float through the principal streets of the Volta regional capital, Ho, to create awareness among motorists, commuters, business owners, and the general public about the importance of embracing digital payments in the transport sector. Organizers say the program forms part of efforts to deepen financial inclusion while promoting safer, faster, and more transparent payment systems for commercial transport operators across the country. Speaking to the media after the launch, the senior manager for fintech channels at Mobile Money Fintech Limited, Abdul Majid Rufai, said the company identified the need to digitize the payments with Ghana's transport sector to reduce the risks associated with carrying cars while ensuring transparent and inclusive transactions contribute to economic growth.
Right with Momo, we know how important the transport sector drives the economy, and that we saw a gap in what they do. Today, physical cash is what they use, and we are trying to include them into the digital economy. We are starting with those who are on the associations, and then we expand it to all other keke drivers. Apart from that, also, we'll be extending this to taxi drivers, and then very soon we will have all commercial drivers joining on. What we are trying to do to onboard digitally on mobile money so that we can have a safe, transparent, and then all-inclusive digital payments. So that we can
31st this year, mobile money and MTN are now.
Thanks very much for your time. I am Pius Kojobaka. That's it for Prime Business. See you same time next week. Do enjoy the rest of programs. Dafem Mekbo is next with sports.
From the heart of Africa we stand, building dreams across the land. Every step we take your side, helping you rise, taking you higher. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. BOA, we go there for you night and day. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher.
Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
Police
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
All these were food.
Food to the brain, man, Kasa.
I only took small, Peo. Small. You pour like waterfall.
Let's check the camera, shall we? What camera?
Hey, I knew it.
Hey. Hey, Mommy, Daddy.
Fruit is for sharing. No need to hide to enjoy.
Family that share together.
Stay together.
Wait, there's more.
Hey.
Someone you know, match it.
Fratelli, the family drink. This advert is FDA approved.
Missed passes, bad referee decisions. Don't let your child's grade suffer a bad match. Ensure a straight win this academic season with curriculum-aligned textbooks and interactive tools from Pegasus Publishing. From preschool to senior high school, we have the exact game plan your kids need to ace their classes. And because it's World Cup season, you get a massive 20% off every single book. Don't drop points. Call 059-50-10175 or dash to Pegasus Publishing in Accra, Newtown, right opposite the Total Energy Station. Free delivery within Accra when you call. Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures.
I didn't think it would happen to me, but it happened to me.
Ghana's digital economy is booming. Millions of transactions, billions of cities, a future powered by technology. But beneath the convenience lies a growing threat.
Now it's becoming more towards digital fraud.
If we place convenience excessively over security, we run the risk of breaking down the number one currency that we have in that ecosystem, and that is trust.
The Digital Economy Forum is a thought leadership series examining the opportunities, risks, and choices shaping Ghana's economic future. In our maiden edition, we tackle a critical issue, the trust crisis, why fraud is holding back Ghana's digital economy.
We need to have a 360-degree solution.
Join Head of FinTech and Innovation at the Bank of Ghana, Elhanan Oreku-Asare, Economics Professor Godfred Bokpin, CEO of Ghana Association of Banks, John Ewa, Executive Chairman of E-Crime Bureau, Dr. Albert Enchibuesiako, Chief Risk and Compliance Officer at Mobile Money FinTech Limited, Godwin Tamaklu, Deputy Director General in charge of Technical Operations at the Cybersecurity Authority, Stephen Kujo Seshi, and Head of Internal Affairs at Haptel, Ebenezer Before the Digital Economy Forum, The Trust Crisis, Why Fraud is Holding Back Ghana's Digital Economy. Brought to you in partnership with Haptel. It's happening on Wednesday, July 22nd at 8 p.m. live on Joy News, Joy FM, and across our social media platforms.
Hi and welcome to Prime Sports with me, Benaya Elom Dafamapo. To some tennis now, where the future of Africa table tennis was on show at the University of Ghana, where young players from across the continent took part in the 2026 ITTF Africa Hope Week Challenge. The week-long program helped players under the age of 12 improve their skills before ending with an award ceremony. Jasmine Levy has more in this report.
We're here at the 2026 ITTF Africa Hopes Week Challenge, where kids under 12 years old have come from 12 different countries to help focus on developing their table tennis skills. The week-long event ends with a medal ceremony designed to celebrate the players that have had the most growth during the program.
The African Hopes is a competition organized by the International Table Tennis Federation and the African Table Tennis Federation, and Ghana is privileged to host this year's edition. It's been on for the past 20 years, and I believe this is the 7th edition. It used to be a triannual, and then it became biannual, and now it's an annual competition. It brings together the best and the brightest talented kids from across Africa. In the hall today, we have kids from 12 African countries, and they go through a week of intensive training. At the end of the week, there is a bit of a challenge. So what we're seeing here today is a challenge phase of 1 week of activities for the most exciting next generation table tennis talents from across Africa.
What does this kind of developmental training mean for these kids?
It's huge. I mean, for some, it's going to be seismic. It's going to be life-defining. Life-defining because they get the opportunity to engage with kids from all over other countries. The exposure, the experience is priceless. But critically, they get to apply the discipline, the dexterity that table tennis gives you to other spheres of their life. So it's not just about excelling, but understanding what it takes to be the best version of yourself.
Can you do the David and Goliath thing?
Oh, David and Goliath, that's amazing. So because of the nature of the competition and because it's for under 12s, every kid below the age of 12 qualifies. Now what it means is that sometimes you have a very big gap regarding the age group. You have an instance that we just saw where a 12-year-old is playing a kid who I think is about just on the upside of 7. I mean, in terms of physique, in terms of ability, in terms of age, there is a big disparity. But there can be only one winner from that competition, and it's a little boy, because the exposure he gets, the confidence he gains, the ability to play with the best on the continent will put him in a space that will serve him so well going forward.
What's the most valuable thing you learned during here when they helped you develop your training?
I learned my forehand was too bad. Now it has become better. My backhand, the same thing. And I thank Coach Eva for a great job she has done for us. May God protect her.
What do you hope to do in the future with table tennis?
To be the first in the world and Africa, and to win hopes.
The next part of the challenge will be the U15 Africa Championship, hosted at the Bourdamont Sports Complex on July 20th. Reporting from University of Ghana, Jasmine Levy, Joy Sports.
To some football now, and following their semi-final round losses, France and England will play in the World Cup for the bronze medal matchup on Saturday afternoon. France lost to Spain on Tuesday, while England lost to Argentina on Wednesday. Here's a special feature put together by FIFA ahead of the clash.
We've seen what it means to win a World Cup. We'd love to experience that feeling all over again. We all know we have a tough group.
The first few games have given us a confidence boost, which is great. Now we have new battles, and when we advance, the quality of our opponents will improve as well.
Against Sweden, I feel that in terms of balance, it was perhaps our most accomplished performance. We'll obviously need to repeat that if we're to get the better of Paraguay. We've reminded everyone that France isn't just good at playing football. Anyone who wants to go to war with us, this is what you should expect.
5 matches, 5 wins, plenty of goals scored. We could hardly have hoped for better.
We have a lot of quality. It allows us to dream. But I've always said that the strongest team is the one that wins.
Even at this stage, to have reached the semi-finals for the third time in a row, that's already amazing.
I think we're in excellent shape to play this semi-final.
It's the highest level, and this is a very strong Spanish side. In a game like this, against an opponent like this, you have to be at your best, and the French team wasn't tonight.
We
have to accept the loss and congratulate Spain. We've still got a match to play, even if it is the third place playoff. That's football at the top level.
Yes, I'm a coach and I love to have my team around and I love my players. I think we're in a good place and ready to go.
Let's just go and show kind of the world who we can be.
That's the game for England.
The performance both with and without the ball is at the highest level. Of course, there's a long way to go, a lot of tough games ahead.
We were unlucky not to score, but we still have a great chance to top the group against Panama.
Second half, we were all a bit sharper, a bit more clinical. We've achieved our first objective, which was to win the group.
Knockout stages, now we're here, we need to perform.
Corner for Kane! Well, a crazy game, playing against a tough team. We spoke about people having hero moments. For me, it was the day.
We need to take this in. This is Azteca, it's Mexico.
It's Harry Kane and Bellingham again!
Never been prouder of a group of lads. It's the best night of my England career so far.
Sometimes you've got to go in the trenches and you've got to be resilient. We've got that togetherness, that team spirit.
This is pure mentality. You can bottle it up and sell it.
What a game, what an occasion. One that we're ready for, we can't wait.
Rodgers is crossed, Gordon coming in!
Kind of felt like we scored and then the mentality was go back, defend. We should have carried on pushing. In moments like this, the most important is that you have no regrets, that you gave everything, you tried everything. This is what we did.
Excited for the boys, excited for everyone, the team, the staff, the fans.
You try to bounce back and you come back, you learn from it. So what we will do in the next weeks and months.
And ahead of the final, here's a recap of how both Spain and Argentina made it to the final.
The reigning champions of that continent, Spain, its most recent world champions, France. Awkward for Digne, Lamal's gone over, penalty! Mikel Oyarzabal strikes first for Spain! A glimpse, just a glimpse of the World Cup final. Bradley Barcola! Yamal, Olmo, Yamal, Ruiz has steered it wide. That was beautiful football. Porro, that's decent. And this is Lamine Yamal. Oyarzabal high and wide. Porro, Olmo, Pedro Porro! It's happening for Spain! Look at those wild eyes! The world is opening up for this glittering Spanish cohort. But here's Lamine Yamal. He's free. He's easy. But the flag is up. Here is Mbappe. Driving with strength and requiring of Simon to cover at his near post. Dembele. Mbappe! It's gone near, hits a corner.
Yeah, it came off Cucurella, I think.
Ferran Torres sifted forward quickly towards Mbappe. What a good read by Simon, but it's come out here to Desiree Doué, and Simon got back. Kylian Mbappe. There's Nico Williams. Jerky Dembele. A spectacular Spanish display. Spain will play the World Cup final.
So Argentina kick off. The roll today with Declan Rice. Obviously took a shorter route. Now he might have a crack. He does. Enzo Fernandez. He hit that well. It's a nice little guided touch by Simeone. Alvarez. Alvarez again. Rodgers' cross. Gordon coming in! Anthony Gordon! Right place, right time. Messi. That's a brilliant ball. What a save! Sensational save from Pickford.
What a cross from Messi. That was absolutely on the money.
DePaul. It's a good cross. Oh, it's hit the post. Wow. Messi. Here's Gonzalez. Fernandez. Ooh. Was a fair way out. Messi gets into the penalty area. Oh! This one's on target. This one's an absolute beauty. Oh, Alexis McAllister hits the post. Messi. Oh, and England are in trouble. And maybe through Lautaro Martinez, they're going out in the semi-final stage. And Argentina, the world champions, are going to the 2026 final.
And joining me via Zoom is my colleague Michael Akumi of Untimi Sports. Michael, what a game we have in our hand on Sunday.
We have a very interesting game between the Argentines and the Spanish.
Yeah.
These are two nations with distinct style of play and aggression towards games like these. More or less, it's about who has the heart to enter into that particular stadium in New Jersey or New York on Sunday and decide to pick the trophy and come back home with it. I think it will go down to who has the heart to carry the day.
So aside, obviously, Lamine Yamal and Lionel Messi, which other players are you looking forward to on Sunday?
I think for the Spanish national team, the truth of the matter is, if you focus so much on Lamine Yamal, you are literally worrying yourself. There are 4 key players who have taken this World Cup by storm when you look at the Spanish national team in and out of possession. I think there are special shout-outs to players like Marco Pereira. But aside him, you can look at 4 key players in the shape of Pedro Porro, Pau Kubasi, Dani Olmo, and Rodri, who have been excellent, proper technicians within the Spanish national team that keeps them taking every part on the field. The way they coordinate, the way they understand their movement, their link-ups, and chances creation is mind-blowing. Yeah. You watch somebody like Rodri playing as a central defensive midfielder, and proud to the semi-final game against France, he had made 62 line-breaking passes. Absolutely monstrous. Then you look at players like Pedri, who even comes from the bench. The number of passes into the final third holds or is withheld by, I think, 5 players within the competition. You look at Michael Olise, you look at Lionel Messi, you look at Rodri, you look at Pedri. These guys have proven to be key players for their teams in terms of passes into the final third. Spain has like 2 of them. So it means this is a team that can do a lot of things through possession. They don't just play the ball for playing its sake. They don't just pass around for passing and around sake. But I think there's a sense of purpose whenever they have the ball. Then on the opposite side is the Argentine national team. Probably not the best defensive team in the competition. They conceded 2 against Cape Verde. They conceded 1 against Switzerland. They conceded 2 against Egypt. They conceded 1 against England. So this is a team that literally concedes in a lot of games.
Yeah.
But there's something that makes them different. It is how they overcome obstacles and win games at the end of the day. And who again? Lionel Messi. The quality he has provided at the age of 39 years.
Yeah,
I've always said
amazing.
one thing, that Lionel Messi has always been scary in every single position that he has played. But I think 39-year-old Lionel Messi playing from the right wing is something I've never experienced before. And it always gives people goosebumps. The level of quality crosses he puts in the penalty box, the level of creativity he brings to this team is mind-blowing. You can see it, but how do you stop it? This is question of the gods. And these are things that is going to happen in the final.
One thing that has stood out for the Spanish national team is the clean sheets that they've kept in this tournament. It's surprising because no one really saw that coming. What do you think has worked well for them?
I think they considered one against Belgium. And everything clearly shows that they also suffer against team that has enough technicians that can match their technical quality. And if you are looking at the Argentine national team, I think it is a team that are very aggressive on and off the ball. But there is one thing about them people have not realized. They have absolutely top technicians within that setup. Alexis McAllister, Enzo Fernandez, Leandro Paredes, even Lisandro Martinez at the back line. These guys are excellent technicians. So I think they will pose a threat. And definitely if they have Lionel Messi playing up front, who is a better technician than Lionel Messi?
Nobody.
So I think these are things that will really trouble Spain at the end of the day. And one thing that Spain struggled against Belgium in a game where they considered was the transitional phases or the transitional game of a player like Jeremy Doku, who picked up the ball from the half of Belgians, moving through the middle of the park and try and link up with the Catilari. Now, you are looking at this Argentine team that has multiple ball carriers, multiple. Rodrigo de Paul is a proper technician and a ball carrier. Leandro Paredes can do that job. You have somebody like Enzo Fernandez who can pick up the ball. And Lionel Messi can even drop deep and pick up that ball and move with it. So these are two teams that do not lack technicians. That is why I said they had to play a big part. I don't know, but these Argentines are playing for something that literally money can buy.
And if you look at the Spanish national team, a player like Mikel Merino has always had an impact anytime he comes off from the bench. And also Lautaro Martinez of Argentina also comes off the bench and also makes an impact. Do you think both players will start in the final, or both coaches will stick to their guns?
I think for these two coaches, what they have done in this competition is about doing the simple things and having a consistent team. Prior to the semi-final between Argentina and England, I think the only change that came in was Simeone for Rodrigo de Paul. Then you look at the Spanish national team, they've been consistent with their lineup. Marco Cuella, Pedro Porro, Pau Kubasi, Laporte, Rodri, Dani Olmo, Fabian Ruiz, you have Oyarzabal, Alex Baena, and Lamine Yamal. They've played almost 95 to 98% of the games they have played. The same with Argentina, who literally changed from only one player in the semi-final against England. I think it was for a special assignment against Anthony Gordon, who has so much pace that could have exposed any midfielder that would have played in that particular position. So these coaches have been simplistic with their tactics, simplistic with their style, and at the same time, they've embraced their true identity. And they've been able to maintain a consistent team, meaning these are teams that know the movement, they understand themselves, they understand what it takes to play with each other, they know the weaknesses and the strength of each and every player that is closer to them. So it makes it quite easier for them. There are things that could work against any of them. I think off the pitch, you look at certain histories that could work in favor of a team like the Spanish national team, because since 1962, we have not had any national team win the World Cup back-to-back. This is one thing that is really difficult. And it was when it was changed from the 16-team format to the 24 national teams format. It has been very difficult. Then you look at another history that backs the Spanish national team to go on and do something. It's about the fact that it takes every single nation that wants to win his fourth World Cup 24 years to accomplish that. It took Brazil 24 years interval between their third and fourth. It took Italy an interval of 24 years between their third and fourth. It took Germany an interval of exactly 24 years between their third and fourth. Now Argentina have their third. They are going for their fourth.
They want to break their record.
Another 24 years. So there's a need for them to also break that particular record. And I think that is one thing that the Spanish might look at it and feel like, okay, there's a time. Now, Argentina can also look at it and say that any time a World Cup is hosted in a North American country, a South American team wins it.
Yeah.
So they could also go on and say, okay, fine, this is our time. This is the time to do it. Then, as always, you are looking at an Argentine team that is special.
Yeah.
They are special. I won't lie, they are special in different ways. People might not love how they've conceded, how they have been opened up, but I'm telling you, it takes something special to do a comeback in more than 2 games at a World Cup. Brilliant.
So, how do you think the final is going to pan out? Do you think it's going to be decided in 90 minutes extra time, or you think it will be decided on penalties?
There's something I've said about this particular Spanish national team.
Yeah.
Prevent them from scoring before the 60th minute or 65th. You can hold them around a little bit. Because this is a team that, when they take the lead, nothing actually shows that they are going to sit back.
Yeah. They keep coming.
They keep coming. And their level of technical security is mind-blowing that they can keep possession.
Yeah.
They can. They can really keep the ball. And it is another way of killing the time. So literally, you can hold on to play, pass around by the time
you kill the time,
But the most dangerous thing about this Argentine team is they can adapt to anything. They are really that flexible.
Yeah.
They can defend, go on counter-attack, they can possess, they can do anything.
Because their coach was saying they started preparing for this game since March, because, mind you, this game was supposed to happen around March, April for the finalisma, if you remember that. So it looks like they've been preparing for Spain for a very long time. So it is going to be much closer than people expect.
This is a match made in heaven, where egos are really going to play a part, intensity are going to play a part. And I think you look at the Argentine team, they are going to be very physical against the Spanish side. They will get into their skins, they will take it to the street if there is a need for them to take it to the street. So this is a team that can play nice. This is a team that can play rough. As compared to the Spanish team, who always wants to play nice perfect football and they want to be the good boys.
So Mike,
it's going to be a tough game.
So just before we wrap up, give me a scoreline. How do you think it's going to go? Who's going to end up being crowned the kings of the world?
To be very honest with you, I'm stuck in the middle of the pack, because when there's Lionel Messi in the equation, you can't just say anything and go by it. But there's one thing I can say, that I think the Spanish are not going to go into this game and have a comfortable win like they did against the French national team.
Okay.
These guys will give them a run for their money.
Okay. Thank you very much, Michael. And that's my colleague, Michael Akumia from Wintimi Sports. And that's how I wrap up the sports segment with me, Benaya Elom Dapamapo. For more stories, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. Have a nice weekend.
Welcome to a place where everyday living is reimagined, where space, movement, and community come together effortlessly. With thoughtfully designed spaces, modern facilities, and everything you need within reach. You don't just live here, you feel safe, comfortable, and at ease. Step inside Eden Heights and discover spaces crafted for comfort, style, and everyday living. And just when it feels right, you will know. Because this isn't just about finding a house. It's about stepping into a better way of living. Eden Heights, the height of modern living. Book a private viewing today.
Seeing the Printex fabric, I like the color, texture. I chose this design. It suits my body type. It means a lot to me to look good in clothes that I wear. I don't care about nobody's opinion.
Maso.
Printex.
When malaria shows up, it doesn't knock. It just takes over.
No. This fever is too much.
When malaria comes, respond with Mala2. Fight malaria with Mala2 tablets or syrup from Ernest Chemists.
Test for malaria first before taking Mala-2. If symptoms persist for more than 48 hours, see a doctor. This advert is FDA approved.
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
Eye bibi kitua bi na den sakraya ba etoda a ehya free baby out. Ohwepa enye dede na emom eyedin bre a obiara ani nwo.
Suban pasha asiefi meso ne woso wofie.
Good conduct, great life is brought to you by
Indomie.
Tastes great.
More Kivo inside. Kivo Gari Soaking Mix. A taste of Ghana.
Putting on just the fabric isn't really enough. You have to put on your confidence. I chose this Printex fabric because it symbolizes hope and success because of the color and the texture. Maso Printex.
So much for joining us today on the Joy News channel. I am personally humbled, privileged, and even more excited to sit with a man whose name is etched in the history of this country, both governance and economically. More importantly, people describe him as the perfect bridge between tradition and modern governance. But for a man whose leadership continues to shape conversations in this country, it's only perfect that once in a while we visit to see guidance. And so you're welcome, take a seat. And this is going to be exciting. Today we get to sit down with Ghana's former president, President John Agyekum Kufuor. Mr. President, it's an honor, very humbling to sit with you. How have you been?
Quite well, thank you.
and welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, because your house is very, very serene, very welcoming. I saw a few peacocks around. Tell me about them.
Well, they've been part of the house for at least the past 6 years. But they are not the only, if you like, birds around. We've got some very special chickens, which have feathers even on their legs, that quite huge and very entertaining. They are all over the place. We've also got some deer. We've got about 4 or 5 of them also around.
Okay.
We've got some large tortoises, about 3 of them. We've got some akrante. We are not keeping them for food, but just to keep the balance, eco-balance, as we say. And also some rabbits and cats.
That's a lot.
And some fish too. We've got a small fish pond at the back.
Well, I mean, what does it do for you personally?
You use the word serene.
Yeah.
Just to keep the eco-balance for me. When I see them around, and they seem to know me. So I come into some balance with them, peaceful balance. Sometimes they even entertain me.
I can imagine.
Should I step out there with you now, see how the peacocks would come towards me?
That's really nice. I'm sure that people will take a cue from that and learn a few lessons from this. How have you been?
Quite well.
Okay. Let's start with the country's 3 arms of government. Of course, the executive, the judiciary, and parliament. I'm curious, do you think that the country's executive arm has become quite dominant as relative to the parliament and judiciary?
When you put the question that way, you give the impression is the executive reaching out to perhaps usurp the powers of the other organs. But I believe it was put there deliberately by the constitution of the country, which proposes a hybrid system, and the definition of the hybrid being the president, who is the executive authority, being more or less instructed to appoint majority of his ministers from the legislature. The arms are arranged to realize what has been described as a checks and balances principle. And the legislature is supposed to be the watchdog over the executive performance. So where the Constitution says the president should appoint majority of ministers from legislature, then in a way, the executive is being empowered to seem like it's overreaching itself. But so now we are talking constitutional review.
Yes.
I hope we'll revisit that issue and really try to get the checks and balances so we achieve accountability in the management of a government authority.
Mr. President, you've definitely lived in the era where the executive performed exactly as you're saying. And I'm also aware that the committee that was tasked to look at the constitution review as well consulted you.
Yes.
If you look back at the time that you lived in that era and today we have the opportunity to add and take a few things, what would you say should be one of the things that we should look at?
I would go for strict separation of powers. The executive authority should stand by itself, formulate policies, seek authorization from the legislature, especially budget and all. And legislature should be the watchdog in people's house to keep the executive on its toes. And then, of course, judiciary, they say the oracle of the Constitution, should be, its independence should be respected totally. These are the 3 main. But these days, we also recognize the 4th estate, as it's been called, the media, which in a way increases the voice of the people by exposing, educating, entertaining the general run of governance for the general public, the true owners of the show, if I may describe the public as such, to have some leverage over the formal institutions of governance.
Okay.
And so these are some of the things I hope the review will take into account.
Should Parliament to be maintained as it is, or you envisage a different kind of Parliament?
In what sense?
In the three arms of government, as we've seen, the executive, we've seen the judiciary, the legislature, they make laws, and as you know, the executive would appoint ministers as well from the parliament. That system as well, is it something that you think is potent enough?
Well, I've said I want strict separation, meaning legislature should be the people's representatives should be there to control the budget, the purse of the state. You know, the executive should seek authorization from the legislature to make the budget to run the government. And then the executive should be held accountable, first instance through the legislature, because the executive would formulate the policies and then seek approval of the people through the legislature, as well as, in addition to the budget, as well as of now, the vetting of ministers and appointees of, say, the president. The vetting is done through the legislature, but because of the multi-party system that the Constitution provides, and because the legislative committees are constituted, except for one or two, on basis of the relative strengths of the parties within the legislature, invariably the legislative assembly committees tend to reflect the pro rata. So whoever the president would nominate for vetting, the president would have majority of the vetting committees in the legislature, and so once the president nominates, invariably the nominee sails through, because the majority tends to be there to support the president. I pretend to be of the view that there's another organization or institution of constitution that I would have it's different, and that's the Council of State. And I've voiced my opinion publicly. In spite of the fact that that committee tends to be composed of quite distinguished people, somehow the perception is that it is more or less mandated to advise just the executive, the president, and they meet the president in camera. So suppose the president is doing something that perhaps would need to be exposed properly, and even where the national council would advise and say if the president should choose not to respect the advice, how does the public get to know? So I would rather have a second house composed not so much on basis of democracy as of identifiable institutions in the land, and also some few individuals who have served the public in ways that would